All right, so Gertrude, you go ahead and take our first article.
Okay, so we are going to talk about Trump a little bit because, I do like Trump. I think he has some issues, but he's a lot better than a lot of the other people that were trying to get into office. He's actually trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, I would almost want to say in the Morning Metro, we're not trying to force any one particular viewpoint. That just happens to be our own personal opinions and stuff.
Yes. This is if you like somebody else, that's completely fine. It's it's kind of
personal preference. Just kind of personal preference. But go ahead and talk about this article if you would.
All right. So Trump taps tech titans tackle government waste.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Trump taps tech titan. Try to say that 3 times fast.
Jeez.
No, thank you.
All right, continue. I'm sorry. I'm just interrupting now.
So, tech leaders from America's biggest companies arrived at the White House to meet with the President Donald Trump Monday, which this was actually on June 9th. It was published on June 19th. So, it was a little while ago, to discuss innovative ways to streamline government services, trim regulations, and cut federal costs. Now, I am going to say this. During a conference call, let's see. Where are we going with this? The government has relied too long on past practices as automatic justifications of their continuation. For instance, the Department of Defense still uses an 8-inch floppy disk.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Okay, I can definitely talk about this with you, because I was like, wait, what is this about? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if you could pop up a picture of an 8-inch floppy disk, I have it there in the article.
Let me go ahead
so people can see what we're talking about.
For you young whippersnappers, in my day, we had this. Wait for it. Here comes that. That's an ancient floppy.
Exactly.
Floppy.
It is huge.
The original coaster for your drink.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just thinking, what? Nobody uses those anymore. I mean, heck, people don't even really use DVDs or CDs anymore. It's all digital age.
Well, no.
Some people do. Some people do use CDs
I'm gonna
and DVDs,
say,
but that's going down.
I'm gonna say as a techie, or as a content creator, yes, I still use those because I do have some clientele that want their work or their videos on DVDs, so it's not entirely true. But I remember hearing about this article not too long ago. My mom had brought this article to me that Trump was trying to do a reform technologically on the computer systems, because this is
technology.
Well, this is why they say that we're so easy to hack. We're not keeping up with the times.
Exactly.
And because of it, this makes us more, 8-inch floppy, what the freak?
Who uses that? They should have that a little more secure than that.
Hunter, what do you think of this? You're younger than both of us here.
Well, I mean, what really popped into my mind, the smart TV article you did, I think, was it last week?
I believe so.
And you talk about the vulnerability of that. It's like we really need to step up our game, because at this rate, hackers and all sorts are going way ahead of us in time and not time. Jeez, just in technology and stuff.
Yes,
and we really need to catch up to them quick.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Before. Well, I mean, things are already starting to happen before the massive cyber war or something breaks out.
Well, and we're kind of already in a cyber war as it is. Actually, if you go to Gertrude, I find this interesting. Herton, you should look this up. There's a website, I think it's called Norse Track or something like that, and you can watch.
I've heard that.
You can watch live attacks going on. Now, I think to kind of put things a little bit more into I guess in the context of what he is. First of all, guys, Hunter's actually from the UK. So now, granted, that doesn't mean the UK government also may not use the most modern of tech, but I think I could sort of span this about worldwide. There's a lot of governments that are still using some technologies, even dating back probably as far as like World War I or II, probably even further back than that. And so because we're doing that, it makes a crap ton more vulnerable. I mean, like, why is it? Well, and seeing the other thing too, in the U.S. here, we cut our budget we're so much in debt. It's so sad. And I think because of that, we for some reason upping our defense technologically just for some reason was not on someone's priority list. And we're just now deciding this is a problem. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I definitely want to, would love to see. Oh, sorry, I just noticed my mouse is doing that weird loading thing. Like, it's ridiculous how much loading it's doing right now. Anyway, but yeah, my ADHD kicked in. Sorry. It's like squirrel. Sorry. Anyway, no, but I can definitely see where like this is a huge problem that has got to get fixed. We can't. We can't keep this going.
This needs to be on the priority list for sure.
Yes. And it was funny. It was funny. I said to my mom, I was like, it's too bad I couldn't just, call up Trump, be like, yo, dog, I got you. Let me come in there and I'll upgrade your computer to 7600Ks and we'll do like, Asus motherboards and we'll just start with 32 gigabytes of RAM. We'll be jacked up awesome. Yeah. And on top of that, like a lot of things right now are still on paper. They said in the digital age everything's supposed to be digitized, and it's not. And the problem with the fact that things are still on paper really makes it difficult to get anything done because we haven't digitized our infrastructure or our government rulings or whatever. It's just kind of like. Go ahead if you want to go ahead and say that, add anything, Gertrude. That's fine.
Which I was going to get into that part a little bit, how things haven't been digitized. So I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. For instance, with the Department of Veterans Affairs, that's going to be another big focus for the group of tech leaders. Kushner said Monday, claiming tech improvements can improve the lives of U.S. veterans who deserve better. The VA has 532 forms on vets.gov. The majority of which are not accessible by modern browsers. I mean, really?
Really? What do you need? What do you need?
Websites are supposed to be updating like constantly to make sure that the most modern browsers can access them. I mean, I've seen websites say, your website's too old, or your browser's too old.
What do you need, like Internet Explorer? What do you need, like Internet Explorer version 8? Like, really?
Maybe the original IE. IE1.
Oh my gosh, IE.
That is crazy.
Dear Lord, no.
Now, most services still use paper forms, including 90% of healthcare applications.
Oh my goodness.
86% of claims, Kushner says. Yeah, that, my friends, is
that's a
problem.
Lot of
trees.
You poor trees.
Oh, that is terrible.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie, from the UK, that is terrible. I bet we do the same in some cases. That is.
Yeah. We're just killing trees here.
And no wonder it's global warming. No, joking. Innocent trees were murdered today.
Exactly.
I'm offended that you killed like billions of trees for those forms. I'm joking.
Oh, feminist.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. Next we'll have treeism.
Oh, treeism.
Yeah, probably.
Oh man. Oh gosh.
Oh damn. Terrible.
Yeah. That really is kind of sad. The fact that a lot of this stuff is, and no wonder a lot of veterans come home from war, obviously, and they're stuck in the veterans queue a lot, and they can't get anything. They can't have anything done for them because, and it kind of makes sense now, the fact that they can't get anything done or passed through because of these stupid forms. That's a heck of a lot of forms.
And think how easy it may be to get them lost as well.
Yeah,
just
well,
one
okay.
page.
Gen Terra Gaming just said my uncle can't get his VA benefits simply because his info was on paper and the building burned down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
see, like that right there.
That's
Right there. That is an
sorry for your
example.
uncle there.
That should be a wake-up call.
And I agree, and Jan Terra, definitely, but I feel for you, definitely. But I'm also want to say that what you just said in chat actually is pretty it's pretty substantial actually, because it really shows that the paper is, in some ways, paper is actually more vulnerable than data like loss or corruption to a degree, obviously, because data corruption can happen, but like that makes the issue like more prevalent, that we've got to get digital, or that we're never going to get anything done. I mean, I'm surprised we were able still to be around working on paper as it is without getting things digitized. So no, that is messed up. That's got to change, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the to next article and stuff. And I'm kind of like this confuses me as far as the what's going on here. So what is this, Gertron? Can you explain what all this is?
Well, it's the Pirates of Caribbean Galaxy S8, which you can get for $880. And if you are...
Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
Just have to throw this in.
A pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So, first off, Samsung phones are expensive regardless.
Yes.
I work in the repairing of phone industry. I mean, I don't really do the repairs.
PC parts and PC portables.
Yes.
A shameless plug.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I can tell you right now, Samsung phones are notorious for costing a lot of money to repair.
Really?
But, yes.
Huh.
Yes. Like, for an Apple phone, you can usually keep it under 200.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, usually under 150. For a Samsung, you're talking $200 to $400 to repair.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's surprising, because Apple is usually a more expensive brand.
Well,
I'm actually
close, you want to know why?
It's not like
Apple allows other companies to create their screens. Samsung's like, nope, we're the only ones that can make it, so we get to set all the prices.
See, the thing is, I thought it'd be the opposite.
Yeah,
Not knowing
same.
how Apple is.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
crazy.
I learned something today. All right, go on.
Okay, so I don't think I would pay for a Pirates of the Caribbean Galaxy S8 for $880. Now let's take a look. What's so cool about this?
It's pirates.
It's Pirates.
Literally like,
Dude, look at that box that it comes in. That is sick.
That is
That
about
is-
the only cool thing in the entire thing.
yeah.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like this, the background, the screen background. You could literally do that on your own phone.
Yeah, you can just
Exactly.
download it from Google.
Yeah,
Literally
And the
download it
scene
from
now, You
Google.
could probably do that as well.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
could.
like, what
Yeah.
the heck?
Yeah, you could literally download that from Google, like no problem.
Exactly.
Maybe people could just be more careful with their personal pocket supercomputer.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Now I like the box it comes in.
It is the only cool thing that comes in. Like now, what is this little? Okay, so what's this little like piece of? Is that jewelry or what is that thing?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Like ring thing.
I don't know.
It
That's
might be
weird.
some sort of hook so you can hang your phone on it.
What?
I don't know.
That's
I
weird.
Yeah,
can't tell.
I'm gonna hang my phone up on the what? Okay. This is clearly a sign of
I mean,
marketing.
I think the only cool thing about that phone is the box that it comes in.
I agree.
Yes.
Like anything else, you could just do yourself practically.
Exactly.
It's
now,
it's basically a sellout.
Well,
Let's see.
the thing
Straight
is that Hunter's right, because actually the Guardians of the Grid shirt I'm wearing right now, which you guys can check out in the panels below the stream, that like I could have my friend Casey just do that for me like literally right now if I wanted to. Just be like, dude, draw me something pirates, and print it for me, and bam, it could be a shirt, it could be a phone case, it could be whatever. So I mean, this this is clearly a marketing stunt, and they're trying to hype it because of the new Pirates film, which I have not seen. Looked so good, though. I don't even know if it's still movie theaters in the U.S. Hunter, have you seen the new Pirates film at all?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
Had the opportunity.
It looks good, though.
It
Not
does.
gonna lie.
Yeah, but I mean, $880. I could think of a lot of things I could spend that on right now, or save, actually. Well, okay, spend and save. But like, there are some like guitar pedals that I own that were like $600 and $700, but they were actually something of value. Like to me, this is it's a piece of plastic. Okay.
Yeah.
It's plastic, and probably I'll bet you that box is just wood. Like, I could call, like, my brother-in-law and have him make something like that really similar. That's, oh, come on.
It's just...
so
it's
cheap.
not worth it.
It's so... It's just a cheap gimmick.
$8 as well. Like, come on. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I agree. I completely agree.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
So...
It's useless.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I'm gonna head actually, and I'm gonna surprise Hunter. You're actually gonna take this article, even though you haven't read it. And Gertrude, you can help him along if you want. But Hunter, your turn to take an article. It's about security, so go for it.
Okay.
Security in my hands.
Sambra.
There we go. For a second, I thought that was on the article. Oh dear. Okay. So 5 ways to test your computer's security. Okay, so I'm just going to read on here. So it says, the moment you log onto the internet, your computer starts its game of Russian roulette. I know that sounds bleak and frightening, but it's true. The personal data you store on your hard drive is a magnet for hackers and cyber criminals, and they will stop at nothing to break into your system.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
These attacks are often overt and frightening. The virtual bandits have committed wave after wave of digital crimes. They have extorted untold bitcoins from regular users desperate to decrypt their files. As you can see, we had that problem when we had the NHS who was hacked over here.
Yes, I remember that.
Was a massive,
what a crime!
It was a crazy thing.
Launch detected.
And do you know what else is crazy? It shut down most hospitals, most A&Es, because everything runs so digitally, and they had to go back to paper. It was crazy.
You know, which,
ain't nobody got time
which I'm gonna quickly, actually connect our first article with this article. Now, okay, so while yes, it's good to go to the digital age, unfortunately, this is the other this is the dirty side of computing, where we have to worry about this bull crap. And it's like, you know, I want our computers to be secure, obviously, but then it's like you play such a fine. It's such a fine line balance between like security versus over security versus like, you know, personal data is, you know, it now that you've digitized yourself. I mean, I rely on my computer so much every day for stuff like this, but like, it's I'm sorry, just go on.
I feel like if they make it, I feel like no matter how secure they make it, there's going to be a way to get in.
Oh yeah, always is. I mean, if a hacker wants it bad enough, he'll do it. Like he'll hack it, definitely.
Exactly. So
that's why I keep all my files on my virtual server, my virtual computer, and I have all the internet settings cut off on it, so nothing's
but I mean, even virtual files can still get hacked into if you know how to decrypt it.
Yeah. For a while.
And welcome and good morning, Lloyd MC, to the show as well. Continue on, Hunter, if you would. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
It says, tip in a tip. Just a few weeks ago, which is kind of what I mentioned, ransomware affected some 200,000 Windows computers all over the world. So, I don't know if you guys have got this, but definitely on my antivirus, I've been getting pop-ups saying, oh, you can protect yourself from the ransomware epidemic. Now, it does seem this is spreading pretty fast.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel, well, the first knowledge I got of it was obviously when the NHS got hacked and they got that massive ransomware. And it wasn't just in the NHS, it was in America. FedEx was affected. A couple of other companies across the whole world was affected. It was kind of like an immediate outbreak. It's crazy.
Well, let me quick explain exactly like why WannaCry was, for those of you who are a little bit clueless as to how WannaCry worked, and transition back to our main screen here. So I went and looked up a video about WannaCry and how it worked. Or WannaCrypt actually is what it was called. People called it WannaCry just because it's a joke.
Yeah. Because it makes people cry.
Well, okay, so basically the way it works is that somebody would actually activate the software on their computer. And what it would do is it would completely blank out all your files on your desktop, and then it would actually go and scan your local Windows network. Now, in Windows network and sharing, unless you have it switched off or password protected, you can see everybody's computers on your network, because network sharing, like folder sharing basically. So when you share out a folder, your network, stuff like that, all of that was apparently enabled in the NHS's computer network system. Dang. And so WannaCry would actually go through and scan the entire network base and find everybody's computers, and without even actually like clicking anything or whatever, it would actually just start encrypting and spreading from one computer to the next to the next to the next, because of everything being connected via network. Now, okay, I want to really quick before Gertrude jumps in. If they were smart with their networking, what they would have done was used smart switches to cut each computer off, so only certain types of traffic are allowed through. Because on a regular network switch, on a home switch, you can see all the data, all the IPs being traded back and forth. I could do it on my own network and see what gets traded. So that's where you would use things like smart switches to filter a lot of that garbage. But that's basically how it would work. And
again, it's going back to this thing that we need to catch up with this quick. So one of the things was, test your settings. The first tools to use Arsenal is Microsoft's Baseline Security Analyzer. I've never actually used this one. I just use Windows Defender on my computer because it's built into the OS. On my parents use McAfee, which I'm. Why? Why? What's your problem with McAfee? What?
Okay, I've got to do my little spiel in here.
Gertron ran incoming.
Sucks. Okay. Now, every time I see McAfee or Norton on somebody's computer, I'm just like, that is so sad. That is so sad.
Why is that? It's because of the vulnerability.
It slows the system down so much. You have no idea how much faster your computer goes once you get rid of McAfee. And also, okay, nobody needs to pay for antivirus systems unless they do online banking or actually have a lot of security type information going on. If you're just a regular computer user browsing the web, you don't need to pay for antivirus.
See, that's the thing. Like, my parents are doing like financial stuff on their computer, like checking their their banking stuff and all that kind and everything. Now the other thing, I really want somebody to confirm this for me. I heard somebody say that McAfee, okay, apparently some years ago, Intel's going to buy out McAfee. McAfee supposedly integrated holes in their software so that when the people who bought McAfee from Intel would have security issues, that Intel would actually have to go back to McAfee to fix the holes in their software. Now, here's the thing. Nobody has confirmed this. I've only heard this by word of mouth. I have no idea if this is true at all. If somebody in the comments, somebody on stream, or Gertron or Hunter, somebody can confirm this, I would love to know if that's true.
I've not heard of that before.
I don't know.
But that is true. That is crazy.
Well, I mean, it's a case of the fact that they wanted McAfee didn't want to lose out on their own software. It basically just probably came back to a profit thing. But yeah, someone face is covering the chat box. Oh gosh. My IT from Lloyd Mass here says, my IT teacher would tell us, if you think your computer has a virus, unplug the Ethernet cable from the back of the computer. Lol. But yeah, sorry, I know we're trying to get through this article. Well, I'll go ahead and let Gertrude look that up here. So, I mean, obviously do things like update your browser plugins, and you guys would can obviously check this out while we're live here on the show and everything. I think at some point, Gertrude, side note, we're gonna have to start making show notes to post with videos on YouTube. Actually, I think we need to start doing that. Maybe we'll do this with episode 3 here. Test your firewall. One of the most fundamental security setups is a firewall. Windows and Mac have a decent firewall built in, and many third-party security programs include them as well. Firewall keeps hackers from seeing your computer online. Well, depends. Permanently delete files. Newsflash, deleting your files doesn't actually remove them. They can hang around on your hard drive for days or even weeks. And anyone knows that that basically you can easily recover them, things like that. Check your Facebook settings. Oh yeah, Facebook to me is a large security hole in my opinion, honestly. So just basically it's kind of like just basic common sense rules, honestly, when it comes to using the computer. Jen Terry says, yeah, especially at school, because if the person who made it knew what they were doing, it could possibly spread through the network and in turn the county network. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Have you guys checked your security recently? I know I probably need to at some point in time.
I think I need to as well. To be honest.
I got things going on all the time.
you would.
I've got a plethora of security for my computer.
Oh, you would. Oh. I mean, knowing you, that's not hard for you to do at all. For me, I update my Windows. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so almost about every 6 days, I restart my computer. And I usually only restart it for 2 reasons. 1, Windows update, or 2, when I have an NVIDIA driver update. I like to actually restart my computer after an NVIDIA driver update, because to me, it's just the assurance of, yes, the new driver has been properly, sort of reloaded in a way. And I update my Chrome, I update my Firefox, I update Opera. Of course, Opera kind of auto updates actually, which is kind of interesting. OBS gets updated. Everything gets updated. I'm a stickler for that. Excuse me here.
I haven't shut my computer off for 15 days.
Oh wow.
Dang.
Well, so you only have to do that, of course, when a Windows update comes through. Then you've got to reboot, obviously, because Windows makes you do that.
Unless you know the secret tools.
Why? Okay, you need to tell me about these secret tools. I need to know.
Oh dear.
But I maintain my parents' computers and everything and stuff like that. So I'm usually pretty pretty picky about keeping a lot of that stuff up to date and everything. Now, I remember having a computer job and people bringing their computers, and oh my gosh, it was crazy some of the stuff that happened to people's computers.
Wow.
And Gertrude can relate working at a repair center.
Yeah.
People who didn't have antivirus, people whose computers who got either hacked or infected or were super slow.
The really fun ones are the ones that have an antivirus program that is actually a virus itself.
Whoa.
Wow.
Really?
There are fake antivirus programs out there that are actually viruses that make you think your computer is protected as it's slowly destroying your computer.
Well, to me, programs like Malwarebytes and Avast are adware, in my opinion. They're just as.
I use Malwarebytes and Avast. What are we talking about here?
I hate Avast, honestly.
I love Malwarebytes.
I hated Avast, honestly. It just, to me, it was an awful program. It made you I got a joke or a thing one time where it wanted me to sign up for email listings. So I literally, this is the email address I made up. I literally made it was when we put in an email address, I put in junkrat@junkrat.com. And Junkrat is a character from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay. What I do automatically with Avast, so I don't get any notifications from it, does everything silent, is just silent mode. No more notifications. It just runs in the background and does everything without any issues.
I heard a lot of people use my friend Anthony, I think, uses Kaspersky, which is made by the Russians, and there's a couple other ones out there. Wow. I tried using Bitdefender. And I forget who makes it, but that was a nightmarish experience, honestly. I actually ran into problems, and I didn't listen to my internal voice and decided to I I was gonna try to do a restore point, and it just turned into like a week of like stupidity on my end. But whatever. Jen Terry says free Avast while doing its job. A really pushy about getting their other software. Yeah, that's the other thing. So and I'm just go ahead and keep moving on here. I don't know if Gertron's found the research about McAfee or not, but if not, you can send it to me after the show.
There's not much.
There's not much. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
All right. So go ahead. Speaking of like just crazy internet stuff, whatever. Continuing on with internet articles, I have a personal story. Okay, so here, I'm gonna try to figure out how I want to start this. I'm looking at my show notes here. Okay, Verizon Fiber. What are you playing? Oh, you're for the reference. Okay, Verizon forcing fiber phones to unwilling customers. Hand of fate. Oh gosh. I'm gonna read off my article or my show notes here. Once again, Verizon is digging a hole that they can never come out of as they make a bold and rude move to force their customers to be moved from from copper lines to fiber optic lines that then get switched to Cat 5e cable phones. Okay, so let me explain this. Filth. Okay, so let me explain something. All right, so for our phone, we have Verizon. All right, now I don't care who you are or what you represent. Verizon is seriously one of the worst internet companies, or the worst ISPs for phone and internet I have ever seen.
And
it is
phone services.
That as well. And it is literally garbage to deal with. So here's what happened. So about like this past week, we actually woke up one morning to find that our home phone line got cut off. No warning. Cut off. Okay. And so my mom is calling. Now the bill was paid. Okay, so wasn't anything wrong with that. The bill was definitely paid. But my mom calls Verizon. She's like, "Yo, like what's going on here? Why is our phone line cut off?" They tell her, "We're sorry, ma'am, but we're forcing all of our customers to go from copper lines to fiber optic lines." Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the reason for this move is actually, it's in the article here. This was actually it sounds like a couple months ago. The FCC decided that they were going to have a new requirement. Sorry, I'm trying to think here. Have a new requirement where copper lines are getting too old to maintain, and fiber optic is, of course, a new way of doing things and what have you. So Verizon basically is coming to people's homes, and actually there's some terrible stories here in the article, or examples here where people are having this issue. But we were trying to schedule we were like, okay, fine, whatever, we'll just schedule a Verizon tech to come out to our home to fix the issue. Well, no, Verizon gave my mom the runaround and didn't know, of course, as usual, the left hand do not know what the right hand is doing, and they gave her a hard time about trying to schedule an appointment to have somebody come out, and the day that is scheduled, like, somehow the order number got lost. It was just a whole bunch of bull crap. Okay, so finally, on Wednesday, we randomly had a Verizon tech show up at our doorstep. And she goes, "Hi," she says, "I'm here to replace your copper line with a fiber line." And we're like, okay, but we weren't expecting a tech till Thursday. And she's like, well, apparently now I think this is an excuse. Her reasoning was that supposedly there was some kind of small mini fire on one of our poles in my neighborhood that like burnt all the copper lines and cut off all the phones. To me, that was a lie. That just sounded like a big lie. And you guys face palming and laughing. Believe me, it was not funny. So to me, I'm just like, are you serious? So it took, like Mom said, I think like 3 hours to switch from fiber to to whatever. Hey, Mr. Pramito, welcome to the chat. And yes, absolutely bullcrap, definitely. Absolute bullcrap. Now here, okay, now
got time for that.
Thank you. Now here's the thing. Here's how this worked. Okay. they run a copper line, okay? So what happens is they run a copper line up through your house. They run it to a special box. The box, you get shipped a battery backup that runs that holds D-sized batteries. Not even joking. D-sized battery backup. That's already a battery backup because it's cheap. Which actually reminds me, I need to tell my mom we need to go back to Best Buy to get a battery backup that actually is better than what they were going actually what they shipped us, and I gotta remember to tell her that after the show. So they run this copper line. And it goes from a special box down to another adapting box that has alligator clips. She took a Cat 5e cable, and it went from fiber down to Cat 5e, runs right back outside the house and into the phone box. Now, Gertron, correct me if I'm wrong, bud, but isn't Cat 5e, doesn't that have a form of copper or aluminum as well? So basically, we didn't actually get switched from fiber. It was just a different way of connecting the same type of material to our phone box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
what the Verizon? Why? Why are you so stupid?
Oh dear.
Like,
Terrible.
I'm sorry, like, I hate to get, like, I really want to yell, like, on the show here. I'm not going to save you guys' ears, and I'm trying to contain myself, but I am, like, literally frustrated to no end with Verizon. That's about how I feel. Like, that's what I would have loved to say to the Verizon person. You shall not pass through my door and do this. But, like, how does this save money? How does this help the customer? Because a lot of customers have been having this issue where Verizon techs are showing up at their doorstep and forcibly telling people, if you don't do this, we will cut off your phone line. Okay, to me, First of all, if you're elderly, that's a safety concern. It becomes very real. Someone says, "I fall and I can't get up." Okay, I know it's a funny commercial, but honestly, it's actually not. Because if your phone gets cut off, you're stuck. And to me, like, you know, it's really inconvenient. It's a safety hazard. It's a safety. To me, it'd be a safety and fire violation that there's no phone, because Verizon decides to be a horse's backside and be like, no, sorry, fiber is the only fix. That's what they call the program here. And you guys can read this because this is absolutely ridiculous. But you know, they're just. Oh my gosh, I don't even anymore, honestly. Like, I'm so infuriated by it. But apparently this is an effort to switch everybody over to fiber because copper supposedly is getting too old. Copper's not that old, and honestly, if they weren't so freaking lazy, it really won't be hard to replace those copper lines. How long does copper last? Does anybody know exactly how long it lasts?
I don't know.
Well, let's take a look.
And not only that, but in a power outage, copper actually will stay electrified, because I think copper has about 5 volts of power.
Okay. Copper wire should last 100 years or more, but insulation around it will deteriorate sooner and is the determining factor in lifespan. So, 100 years.
Okay, it lasts
roughly
100 years. But all for the sake of, because of the FCC, thank you FCC for causing problems once again, you're going to say that copper is too old to maintain. No, I think it's a case of you're lazy and this is a marketing stunt.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, it's just, I know I was going to read the rest of the article, but I mean, it's just, to basically summarize this whole entire section here, there have been, and I think, let me see if I've tried to find at least some other people who've had example. Someone said on June 30th, John provided an update. Let's see, or I guess apparently he. Let's see. At this point, I have. Let me back up. Okay, John. So this guy John received a letter informing him that his service would be disconnected because fiber is the fix, is what they call the program. At this point, I have a working copper line. I am fully paid-up customer and a good standing, as well as a Verizon wireless customer for 15 plus years, and they are threatening me with a disconnect in 2 weeks, as John told Eris when he first contacted us on June 25th. On June 30th, John provided an update. A Verizon representative contacted me this morning on my working copper line, beat a dead horse, to let me know that I would be disconnected on July 30th and asked me to move to fiber. The representative also confirmed that no one did anything to make a repair during the initial outage. So there are kind of excuses with, like, oh, there was an outage, or oh, there was a fire, all this kind of like bullcrap stuff or whatever. This is just all. I don't know what the grand, like, master dirty plan is on this, but this is so messed up. On so many levels, this is messed up.
Thankfully, we don't have Verizon over here.
Hunter, I am so happy for you. I really, you sir, do not know what the pains are of dealing with this. I mean, my internet
rocks.
I mean, my internet is with an entirely different company, thank you, Lord. And actually, the funny thing was, I told the Verizon person that was like a super techie, person, and everything, and she goes, "Oh, well, if you're super techie, you should get Verizon Fiber or Fios." And I was like, and I looked at her like, crickets chirping, Gertron, please. Wait for the sound effect. Oh wow, crickets chirping. There were crickets chirping, basically.
Yeah,
that's what I looked at it as, with that sound playing. So yeah, it was a lot of bull crap, honestly, and I'm not, and like, I mean, what kind of advantage are you really getting? You're just going from Cat 5e, which, by the way, I don't think that Cat 5e cable is actually insulated, believe it or not, because I don't think Cat 5e is naturally insulated, is it? I guess it is to a degree, but I don't know how insulated that.
It depends on the brand and where you buy it.
To me, it looked like to me, she just wired a generic Cat 5e cable, and I'm really worried if it rains or snows, what kind of call quality we're gonna get. I mean, thankfully the endpoint is inside a box, and a locked, sealed box outside. But still, it's just. Oh, dear Lord, please, no.
Oh, dear, Verizon.
Oh, dear.
My.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. And actually, we should have put this next to the Pirates article, actually, because it's kind of Disney and Pirates are kind of the same thing. But Disney has decided they're going to pull all of their movies and stuff from Netflix to create their own streaming service.
Do your family a favor and hook up the Disney Channel for free. Well, forget it.
Nice. All right, Disney will end its.
Oh no.
And actually, I forgot to once again. I forgot to cite our sources. We're so involved with talking, I forgot to cite our sources again. This is from TheVerge.com. The other one was from Ars Technica, by the way. But this is from TheVerge.com reporting on this. Disney will end its distribution deal with Netflix and launch its own streaming service, the company announced today. It intends to launch the service in 2019. The move is a real blow to Netflix, which secured a valuable streaming deal with Disney back in 2012, before streaming had really taken off. The deal only kicked into effect last year, so Netflix is barely seeing any benefit here. Ooh, wow. That means they're not reaping the rewards of the deal that they... Ooh, ouch.
Well, I'm just thinking about it like this. I think what happened to Disney is Disney saw, hey, Netflix is taking some of our money away. Why don't we start our own streaming service, and people who like Disney will pay us to watch our Disney shows? Everybody's just being really greedy here. That's what's going on. It's greed.
Once again, it is sick how much greed drives our world.
Yeah,
financially, it is so sickening. So basically. Oh my gosh. That means that no Marvel movies on Netflix. Yep, exactly, yes. At the same time, it's a natural step for Disney, which has a huge library of valuable movies and shows to offer. Disney already makes it hard to get a lot of its top films, requiring people to purchase rather than rent a film, for instance. So it makes sense that we're seeing the company try to draw even bigger profits from streaming. Netflix won't lose its Disney movies right away. Disney says it plans to cut off starting with its studios, or with the studio's 2019 films, and Netflix says it'll be able to keep all the Disney movies it gets through the end of the year. That means Netflix should be able to stream the next 2 Star Wars movies, but it'll miss out on the new trilogy's final installment. We continue to, and the quote here, we continue to do business with Walt Disney Company on many fronts, including our ongoing deal with Marvel TV, said the spokesman for Netflix. So, if you are a Disney fan, you should probably go on a Disney films binge this weekend, and every weekend.
Binge watch of Disney.
Binge. Yes. So you heard it from the Morning Metro. Spend your next few weekends watching Disney films.
Yes.
We're done. We're out. Goodbye. Not joking. we're still gonna talk here. Here. Okay. Let me ask you guys something, because I'm kind of, this show's like really kind of mentally straining. I'm really getting into the articles today, and I'm really sorry for all that. I'm very, very expressive when I'm frustrated. Is it just me, or do we have too many streaming services? Like, I've lost count.
Yes, there are. Way too many streaming services you have to pay for, and that's why, wink, wink, I have my own tools.
Go ahead. I mean, guys, go ahead and talk about this. I feel like I've been talking too much about the show. I mean, what's your view, Hunter? What do you think?
I mean, like you said, there is a lot of streaming services at the minute, and again, it all goes down to this thing: greed. There's so much like you said. There's greed that drives the world today, and in this is a prime example of that. Like, seriously, it is terrible.
Yeah.
That's my view on it, at least.
They're all expensive. I mean, you have so many different streaming services, each one with their own price packages, and each one, even if you're paying for the service, they still sometimes like to say, hey, we're going to show you ads anyways. So I've kind of given up on paying for my streaming service.
Like, I mean, I understand. Okay, you have to think about something here. All right, so let's put things in perspective. So I'm obviously a Twitch affiliate. That means I make some money off of Twitch and stuff like that when people give bits and they do donations and they subscribe, so, and all of that is provided through Twitch, who, the parent company, being Amazon.
Yeah.
Now I understand that in order for Twitch to grow, it has to have ads. Okay. I get that. That's fine. But there gets to be a point where the average Joe, I think, is getting too enslaved in paying for things. And the thing about it is that it's almost like it's like people are willing to go into debt to pay for services, such as Netflix, such as YouTube Red.
Yeah.
I'm probably missing a couple ones that are out there, stuff like that. Twitch is the only platform per se you can watch a streamer and not necessarily have to pay for it. However, there are some partnered streamers who do subscribe only chat, which I'm never going to do, honestly, because I want you guys, this is part of
engagement way.
Part of how my channel works and grows is by talking to you guys. I want you guys to always be able to chat with me, no matter what level of, I'm gonna say sponsorship you are and stuff. Bits and everything. That's all optional stuff if you feel like I'm worth your money and things like that. But like this is why I've actually started to stopped watching TV, because there are there's a flip side to this in a minute here, of course. There are so many ads on TV that it is becoming mentally and it's just becoming mentally overwhelming, visually overwhelming as well. That on web browsing, yes, I use ad block, but it's not because I don't want to support somebody. It's because I'm getting tired of feeling like I'm constantly being bombarded. That's the problem. There is no, I want there to be ads. I do. I really do. But there needs to be a careful, delicate balance between ads and paid services, which there isn't. And unfortunately, because of the internet being the way that it is, there is no regulation for advertising. Now, a couple weeks ago, I do remember hearing that Google's Chrome was going to start enforcing what type of ads they deemed appropriate. Pop-up ads versus side banner ads. I'm okay with side banner ads. That's okay.
Yeah.
But do not pop up in my face trying to sell me something. Okay?
Exactly.
That's a no-no, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think even Google said that was a no-no. Also, good morning, Trust Tom. I'm so sorry to acknowledge that you were here. Welcome to the Morning Metro. We love having you here. And now the flip side of this is that my sister actually works for I guess I can say that she works for the Baltimore Magazine. And she works in the advertising department. And I did a small little rant on Twitter, and she goes like, hey, bro, you have to understand, if there weren't an advertising department, I wouldn't have a job, and services that you enjoy wouldn't be free. And yes, I acknowledge that. I understand. I really do. But I wasn't able to properly clarify on Twitter my frustration with my advertising. That to me, I don't feel like that there is a balance in the ads. I mean, you guys can pipe in whenever you want here. I don't mean to go on a whole rant and dominate the conversation. But am I right in this? That this is what I can't be the only person that feels this way.
Yeah, I hate pop-up ads, seriously. But when you're on a website and it just pops up in your face, you're like, dude, seriously.
Yeah.
Come on.
Now, this is why not only do I have Ad Blocker Plus, but I also have a pop-up blocker, and I have a JavaScript blocker that blocks pop-ups as well. I rarely will see an ad on anything. And if a page, when you click something, if it tries to open up a new tab, it closes it, and then it lets you know that it closed that tab, and then it lets you ask you, do you want to continue with that, or do you just want to ignore it forever? So I rarely will ever see an ad anywhere. Yeah.
Now, what I have noticed recently on Twitch is I think they've changed how their ads have worked recently, where even if you have ad block, you will still see an ad, but it says this ad supports Twitch. So unfortunately, as an affiliate, I don't have the luxury of you making money off of that ad that you just probably watched before watching the show. So, I want the platform to make money. That's okay. I want it. I don't mind if there's ads. And here's the other thing too. The problem is, if I say that I want it regulated, that also implies a bunch of other problems where it could actually cause over-regulation of the internet, which we've been fighting off and on for Lord knows how long now, honestly. So it's really weird. This is just one of those weird things about the internet when it comes to ad and regulate versus not regulate, and it's like, I don't know. It's like, just do it. Just do it in such a way where, yes, you are making the money, but don't go nuts doing it. Yeah. So, So anyway, Gertrude just messaged me that we've got to start winding down the show and stuff like that. Any final thoughts, guys, before we start ending this here?
It's fine. I think I think I agree with everything you just said.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to head and just wind down the show and everything like that. Again, thank you guys so much for chatting and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, I know you guys can't be here when you're live. I'm actually going to probably start making public show notes or that link to the articles if you actually want to read them yourself. Because for some reason I keep forgetting to put them in the chat, and that's not fair. And also that means that people on YouTube can actually watch it because it's on YouTube, it's recording. So thank you guys so much for watching. You guys, my hosts, thank you for joining us. Hunter, thank you also for joining us. I would love to see you come back for another episode. Yeah. Chat, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, have a really good Saturday. And until then, we will catch you guys later.
It's been fun.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
All right. See you guys.